come in, sir?
Yeah, please come.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Simran. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Simran, we begin with a brief introduction from you.
Sir, I'm Simran. I'm 25 years old. I was born and brought up in village Pajukurd of Jean district of Haryana. I have completed my graduation and post-graduation from University of Delhi in the subject of history. In my post-graduation, I specialized in modern history, and since then I'm preparing for civil services. And I have keen interest in reading fictional works on world history and Middle East region, along with watching some good Bollywood movies.
So, Simran, you're from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
Generally we find every year, when we have mock interviews, there are so many women from Haryana, taking these interviews and finally getting selected, right? And then we keep hearing about the kind of the glory women of Haryana bring uh, to India in the sports arena and otherwise also. Now, with all these things happening, how do you think the women in Haryana are getting socially empowered?
Sir, with all the developments that are happening in the sphere of women in terms of them becoming economically independent, I believe that it is a very positive change. However, the overall picture still remains bleak. The ones that we see in limelight are still a part of many women who are still in their confined in their households. But the progress is there.
So tell me, just away from Haryana, since you have raised a very good point, economic empowerment. Now, what do you think has been one single factor for economic empowerment of women, that women are going towards employment? Is it globalization effect, or is it that education has become so important and there is an awakening at the level of the earlier generation that our girls should also study? What exactly can you prioritize, that what is the reason for such sudden economic empowerment by women working? After studying, they all work now, almost all the 100% urban women especially.
Sir, I feel that it is a combination of reasons. Like you mentioned, globalization, education has expanded. And I would also like to mention one of the work by a Nobel Prize winner in economics. I am forgetting her name. But she mentioned how after certain economic development, women also start having advantages of that economic development. But in the initial period, they are excluded from it. So all these reasons are, I think, leading up to this empowerment.
So, Simran, let's talk about your subject, history. Now, whenever we mention about the tourism offerings that Incredible India, offers to the world, we talk of ancient history.
Yes.
Also, there are other things also. Now, what is so special in ancient history which can attract tourists from all over the world?
So the first thing that comes to my mind is the magnificent architecture from ancient history, which has survived the tests of time. So, for example, the beautiful temples of South India and the forts in the northern part of India. So that comes to my mind. Yes.
Yesterday, Prime Minister of India, commissioned three vessels, INS vessels, naval service. Do you recall what are the
Sir,
vessels?
I am unable to recall that. I was not able to catch up with that.
Okay, but anyway, doesn't matter. The main point is that he also mentioned that he recognized the influence of Shivaji Maharaj on bringing the naval capabilities. Now, what is Shivaji Maharaj's contribution in naval capabilities of India?
Sir, as far as I remember, Shivaji Maharaj had a very good navy. He also invested a lot in having forts in the naval area so that the area can be fortified and secured. And his contribution has also been recognized recently when Navy changed their insignia to commemorate Shivaji's contributions.
He also mentioned something about Indo-Pacific region. So, what do you think is India's requirement to have an open and secured Indo-Pacific zone? Is it just because we are confronting with China, or is there any other reason?
So, confrontation with China is an important reason. But other than that, an open, inclusive, and secure Indo Pacific is in interest of not just India, but also the South Asian region as a whole. And India not just aspires, but also have the capability to become a leader of South Asia. So, having an open and inclusive Indo Pacific region is in interest of all.
My last question, uh, ever since demonetization was done, how has digital payments system or the ecosystem helped Indian economy to become faster and economically more robust?
Sir, because of the digitalization of payments, it has become much easier to make smaller payments, and people do not have to wait to go to bank and withdraw their money. They can do it easily through the online medium nowadays. And I feel that it is a very advanced, a very good development. Especially since we see many European countries being surprised over the use of a QR code on small vendors in India.
Okay, thank you, Simran. I now pass on to a member.
So, Simran from Haryana. Uh, in Haryana, do you have the problem of illegal sand mining? Do you have that problem or not?
Sir, I have not heard of that.
You,
Uh,
illegal sand mining, no.
sir, no, I have not. I have not heard of that. I'm unable to right now recall it if there is any.
There is any. And this Aravali Hills,
Yes,
what are the issues with the Aravali Hills then? What are the issues?
yes, sir. In that context, I can think that the issue of mining can be there. However, I'm not sure. But the other issue with Aravali's, uh, so yes, I think it is about mining in Aravali's.
I mean, what you want to say? Is there illegal mining going on in Haryana or not?
Sir, I am not sure,
Okay,
but
okay,
I think it is about
okay,
that.
okay. Simran, your Indian Foreign Service is your first choice. Now let us talk about these two wars, this Middle East, Israel, and all that, and this Ukraine wala. How do you see as a foreign service officer, aspiring foreign service officer, how do you see after 3 4 months the fate of these two wars? After 3 4 months, 5 months
So from now,
from now?
sir, in Israel-Palestine case, I the recent news that I heard was that there are talks of ceasefire. So from 3 4 months from now, I see that subsequent efforts must have been taken place in stopping the war for now. In terms of Ukraine, Russia, I think that by in a month, in few days, President Trump is going to take his seat. So there are expectations that he would take steps to stop this war as well.
So you mean to say both wars may
Yes,
have
sir.
an end
Yes.
within 3 4 months?
Yes.
With this war in this Middle East, where you are interested, so what is the basic, what I should say, effect of this Israel and Hamas war, which exploded? What has been some important effects of this war in Middle East? The geopolitical situation of the Middle East, how it has changed?
So the first effect I that I can recall right now is the refugee crisis. that has emerged from this war. Secondly, because of the constant struggle, Israel has emerged as a common enemy in the region. And this has prompted all the countries in the region to invest heavily in their military setup. And other than that, I feel that because of this constant influx of war, violence, there has been lack of long-term projects, and international financiers are not trustworthy of their investments in this region. So, for example, India's own IMEC corridor project is now stuck because of this war.
Simran, my last question is about you have done your post graduation in modern history.
Yes.
In modern history, after the declassification of the Netaji files, there has been a topic, a discussion, a heavy, very heavy discussion, very robust discussion about role of Subhash Chandra Bose in freedom struggle. Okay, so Clement Attlee, the Prime Minister of Britain, who signed the instrument of India's freedom, he had met with the governor of West Bengal, Justice Bhattacharya or Chakravarti, I am not remembering his name. He met him and he came out with a very explosive statement. What was that explosive statement? On that statement, many books have been written and many people are saying history should be rewritten or something like that. What Clement Attlee said about the role of Mahatma Gandhi and role of Subhash Chandra Bose in the Indian freedom struggle. It's a very burning topic of last 2-3 years.
Sir, I will have to look into that and read further about that.
Oh, you don't have any idea. Okay. Thank you, Simran.
Simran, you're from Miranda House.
Yes, sir.
So this college is for girls only.
Yes, sir.
So what do you believe, this girls only college or boys only colleges? Is it a good thing? Should we not have education on gender sensitization? Why should there be girls only colleges or boys only? At one time, Hansraj and Stephens used to be only for boys. So, what is your opinion, especially with respect to, we are talking a lot on gender equalization?
Sir, while it is correct to say that having schools or colleges for both genders are the way forward. However, to have girls only college, I feel is important in today's scenario. Firstly, because many parents do not feel comfortable sending their girls away from home in a institute where we have both girls and boys because of the social climate that we have today. But sir, on a personal level, I felt that being in a girls only college was empowering and in a way an feeling independent for me, because I was not stereotyped in any gender roles. I had to do all the work that were expected to do from a student. Had there been boys in my college, so somewhat differentiation must have crept in. For example, the physical labor or the hard labor must be done by boys, and the softer creative side must be shown by girls. But that was not the case in my college.
So, Simran, Delhi is going to have elections soon. And you have studied in Delhi and you live in Delhi also.
Yes.
So, tell me three major problems that Delhi will face or faces during the election time.
Sir, one problem is traffic congestion and movements will be obstructed. Second, I feel that there is a problem of not communalization per se, but the uh, uh, sir, the divisions among people will increase because of the political
No,
turmoil.
my question was during election time, what are the problems that Delhi faces? There's something different, You talk of
Yes,
pollution,
sir.
you talk of congestion. Those are
Sir,
the regular problems.
one problem that I can mention and that I see is wastage of paper, wastage of resources in terms of the advertisements that are done. And second problem is somewhat related to it, is the disturbances that are created because of the promotions done by the political parties that I can remember right now, sir.
So, Simran, in your DEP, you talked of single girl child. You scholarship for single girl child.
Yes, sir.
What is it not restrictive? Scholarship for single girls?
Sir, I feel that it is an empowering step by government. This scholarship is given specially for non-professional courses in masters for single girl child or girls who have only a girl sibling. So I think that girls are girls are appreciated for doing a professional course, but for non-professional courses, parents are still a bit apprehensive. So having such financial backing can help girls to not just acquire higher education, but in overall perspective, it can also delay their marriage age and help them in becoming economically empowered.
Simran, US is trying to restrict China and various supplies, tariffs, and sanctions. Is it an opportunity for India? How can India encash on uh, this scenario which is emerging in US? Today there was the news that US might ban all the cars which are made in China.
So India has an opportunity. I feel that it is a very crucial time for India, but this opportunity can be utilized only if we have deep structural reforms in our country. For example, having economic policy certainty, having more investment in research and skill development in our labor. So that is how India can become a lucrative option for USA, although we are on the path of doing the same.
Thank you.
So, Simran,
Yes, sir.
you come from Haryana. Now, there was this report of recent decline in sex ratio in Haryana once again after being on right track. What do you think contributed to this decline?
So, one reason is the overall patriarchal mindset of society, which is especially prevalent in the northern Indian part. But second reason that I feel is relevant in the current society is that more and more couples are opting for one or two child. But due to the inherent patriarchy, they want to have at least one boy child in those kids. So because of that, they are opting for such steps such as female infanticide.
Do you think migration has any role to play with this phenomena?
Sir, it may have some implications, but I'm unable to point out the exact ones right now.
All right. Why do you wish to join civil services?
Sir, the main goal is, of course, the ability of this service to offer me a dynamic career, uh, an opportunity to serve people. And on a personal level, I want to join civil services to give this message in my area, especially my village, that if you support girls wholeheartedly, they are able to achieve anything that they wish to.
All right. You are interested in Indian foreign services.
Yes, sir.
Now, India and Nepal have historical, cultural, and religious ties. But still, there are few challenges in between the relations, right? So, what are these challenges faced by India and Nepal?
So one challenge is that of perception. Nepal views India that as a power trying to interfere in their personal personal activities. Other than that, I feel that because of the political changes that are happening in Nepal, the relations with India becomes a tool of polity as well. And other than that, there are some internal security issues as well, because of the free border regime that we share with Nepal. So we have problems of drugs menace and terrorism that is coming from that border. And other challenge that I can recall is the water sharing problems that we have. And most importantly, the interference of China in Nepal, which is making India somewhat wary.
All right. We also saw the expansion of BRICS recently. Which was the last nation to join BRICS?
So I remember countries like Iran, Ethiopia, UAE joining, but not
In
exactly the last.
2025.
Sir, I will read about
Okay.
that.
What are the issues in expansion of forums like BRICS? Are there any issues involved in this?
So I feel that expansion of such forums is a positive step, but from national interest perspective, it is important to see which countries are entering such forums. So we should not have a addition of such members which shifts the power balance completely in the side of China. So that I think can be a challenge that must be looked into.
All right. Now let's talk about the startup culture in India. What role are the startups playing in boosting the rural economy in India?
Sir, I would like to mention my own village through this. Because of the over reliance on agriculture, many youth are now turning away from agriculture, and these startups and the jobs offered by them have become a very viable option for them. But there is a flip side to it as well. Most of the jobs are gig economy based, so that is how there is both good and bad side to the startup culture as well.
All right, your optional was history,
Yes.
right? Now, how colonialism shaped India's society?
Sir, there were many facets of how colonialism shaped Indian society. Firstly, colonialism gave the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems, such as communalism, to Indian society, dividing the population on the basis of religion. Other than that, if we talk about women, so because of colonialism, the position of women was very much stereotyped. So, for example, if we talk about sections such as the marginal sections, for example, prostitutes. So their position were highly stereotyped by colonial interpretations. So the society witnessed very many changes, and I feel that although there were sections who were exposed to colonial education and witnessed rise of new ideas, but on an overall perspective, colonialism intended to skew Indian society.
All right. One last question, Simran, since you are interested in reading fictional books on world history. Now, what role, I would say, fictional books on history can play in generating interest of the masses in history? Can it be done?
Yes, sir. So, in fact, I feel that one of the most powerful aspect of reading fiction is that it generates genuine interest in history. So, while reading history, it is a common perception that it is about dates, it is about numbers, but through fictional works, we get a humane perspective of the situation. So, if we read about any crisis, we do not read it in terms of this many number of people died. We understand how a particular family, what they went through, how they handled and coped with those crises. So that is why my interest also emerged.
But then, what are the challenges associated in doing so? I mean, reading fiction is again, don't you think there are certain challenges?
Yes, sir, there are.
What are these challenges?
So the most important challenge is of bias. It is about from whose perspective the fiction is written. So, for example, I read this book on crisis of Israel and Palestine, but the book was written by a refugee from Gaza. So it was completely in favor of Gaza. So while reading that, one has to keep in mind who is writing this, what their belief is, what their ideologies are, and also fabrication of some events can also be there.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Simran, you have mentioned about Middle East region. You have done some reading fictional books on world history and Middle East region. So tell me, what is the historical relationship between India and UAE, Middle East?
Yes, sir. Sir, historically, India did not have many deep relations with this region because India was non-aligned, while many countries in Middle East had their allegiance towards USA. But in recent times, Indian UAE relations have deepened to the level that we have very good trade ties. UAE is a very good investor in India, and the diaspora connect is amazing among both countries.
So Simran, anything from your dev which we may not have covered so far? If yes, I can ask you one question. Yeah.
Sir, I think you have asked most of from my dad, most of that.
So thank you, Simran. We are over with the interview. We'll call you again in another 2-3 minutes
Okay, sir.
for the feedback.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you can wait out.
Thank you so much.
Simran now. Please sit down. So Simran, how did you perform today?
Sir, it was my second mock. In my first mock, I was extremely nervous. Compared to that, it was better.
Good. And it is your first UPSC CSE interview?
Yes, sir.
Good. You're shaping well, Simran. I found you a very confident, candidate,
Thank you.
and carried yourself very well, conducted yourself very well. Good communication, and you were all through in good command. The only thing, so your communication, you have a pleasing personality. You can look a little more cheerful during the interview, and very good communication. Articulation was also excellent. So the panel found just two things, which is well within your range of, I think, how much you have time, 3rd February, your knowledge gaps
Yes.
and your depth on your own subjects. We are not very happy with your depth of knowledge about history itself. Just to give an example, so that you should not feel that we are making just abstract statements. When it came to ancient history, you could not relate much. Today we have so many World Heritage sites.
Yes.
We have Nalanda, we have, you could even name them. Just giving a generic archaeological sites and this, that. We have, the history, all the ancient history you can, Indus Valley civilization. Now, even in the Gujarat, Dholavira and all. So you could have, come out with more specific. And the secret of, remembering, I can't believe that you, being a history student, and that too after MA history, and then you must have prepared for your optional. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता कि आपको याद ना हो. It's just that उस समय याद नहीं
Yes,
आता.
sir. Exactly.
तो सिमरन, उसके लिए तरीका है कि you should just pause. Take good 3, 4, 5 seconds easily in every question.
Sir, can I say something?
Yes.
Sir, actually, in my first mock, I experienced this problem of fumbling, which I am
Problem of
fumbling,
fumbling.
which I am trying to overcome. So, because of the fear that I will fumble a lot, I just went with what came to my mind.
No, but I have to further go into the detail. Why did you fumble? Why do you fumble? Is it lack of knowledge? Is it lack of words or communication ability? What is it? It is
Sir-
lack of knowledge.
So, the nervousness and the lack of practice in speaking English. So that is
Okay,
my-
suppose if I now ask you about any other question where you could not ask because of nervousness, would you be able to reply better?
Sir,
So Simran, ये just believe me,
okay, sir.
है ना? ये nervousness is such a abstract word that you can apply it anywhere and get rid of your shortcomings. Don't rely on nervousness so much. Nervousness and confidence, they are the two poles. Confidence comes with knowledge. Nervousness comes with less knowledge. Please do remember this.
Yes.
At this point in time, when you have just about 10, 15 days left, don't get into that. You must read. You must study. And then you see how things come out. all your nervousness goes. Your nervousness builds gradually. Your first question, oh, what have I done? Number two question, oh, this also I'm not able to remember. What is wrong with me? Nervousness builds gradually. It happens in your mind. We don't even come to know. Is it not? तो इसलिए आप जितना जितना नॉलेज में स्ट्रांग होती जाएंगी उतना ज़्यादा आप नर्वसनेस कम हो जाएगा. इसके अलावा नर्वसनेस का कोई इलाज ही नहीं है. You cannot take a pill or something and stop your nervousness, right?
Yes.
Second nervousness का एक इलाज है. 3 फरवरी तक you go for more and more mocks and face the audience, face the panel. So there is a fright, जैसे stage fright होता है.
Yes.
उसको ख़त्म करने का तरीका ये है कि get into that. तो आप even if you know the subject, everything is fine, you're doing very well in a mock, don't stop there. If your fright is still there, go on practicing. And one day will come before 3rd February ki, oh, now I can just walk into the...
But sir, I will also look into the knowledge part and revise. Yes.
I think more content is
Yes.
more is share is of knowledge. And even if you acquire your knowledge and if you feel that you still have that fright of facing the panel, you must try more and more mocks. Only for practicing this. Even आधे घंटे में आप एक दिन लगाइए, 4 जगह हो आइए. चौथी जगह आप जब होके आएंगे कहेंगे अरे अब तो बड़ा आसान हो गया है फेस करना. ठीक है. So I don't want to go into the details. Even the current affairs need a little. I wish you had read today's newspaper before coming. But please do that on 3rd February, even if it is early in the morning. So, in all, I don't want to sum up again, but you are a good candidate and you have been doing very well.
Yeah. So, Simran, overall, you are a very good candidate. Number one, you got many plus points. Your personality is very pleasing, very sober personality. Your communication is good. Okay. Now, if your communication is laced with facts, figures, content, then this problem which you're discussing with chairman, sir, that nervousness or fumbling, it will go away. Right? So you need to study. History is your subject, the modern history. This controversy has been raging for last 1, 2, 3 years about what Clement Attlee, that Prime Minister, said to the then Governor of Bengal, about role of Mahatma Gandhi. And he said the role of Mahatma Gandhi was minimal, and it was the fear of INA. They were deserting. They were deserting the British Crown, this Navy and Army of the Subhash Chandra Bose. There was a big fear. That's why he said that was the instrumental thing. So that because Gandhiji freedom quit India was 42, but freedom got 47 because 5 years gap is there. So nothing palpable was there in the society in 1946 or 47. Nothing palpable. So all of a sudden, why the British left? So this discussion is going on. Lot of books are there on this. And Haryana sand mining. There is mining and there is a sand mining. Okay, there are two things. Mining, I asked about sand mining. I think Haryana sand mining, illegal sand mining is a big problem. The entire river has been, I think Yamuna flows in Haryana.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So you just see the Yamuna condition, right from Yamuna Nagar to where it exits Haryana.
Faridabad.
Faridabad is all hell broke loose, there every time. So that is very important for you. In Israel, in geopolitical, I asked about the geopolitical scenario of the Middle East actually. Simran, geopolitical in Middle East is that there has been a sort of permanent debility as far as the Iran is concerned, due to Syria, due to so many. So, and there has been a little bit surge of countries like Turkey. Iran is definitely, Israel is definitely gaining lot of grounds. Okay, once Iran goes down, then definitely Saudi Arabia comes up. So, such type of geopolitical changes which will affect India as well. Okay, So read about all these things and these interesting. There is a magazine known as Diplomat. If you have time,
Yes, sir.
Diplomat. In the Diplomat, you read these articles about Middle East problem, future problems, war future, all such type of things. So आपको बहुत अच्छा नॉलेज वहाँ से मिल जाएगा. जब भी अगर आपके पास टाइम होगा तो आप पढ़िएगा. ओवरऑल बिकॉज ये कंटेंट आएगा तो यू विल डू वेरी वेल. आई टेल यू, आई एम 100% श्योर यू विल डू वेरी वेल इन एन इंटरव्यू because your personality is very good. Okay, so do this. All the best.
So, Simran, good personality, good confidence. You look a little more serious. All right. So, bring a bit of smile while listening to the question. Otherwise, communication is good. In the questions that I asked, only two suggestions. Elections. What problems Delhi will face? The biggest issue during elections, any election, Delhi or outside, is the fake news, misinformation. Then, second issue is security. There are crowds and anything may happen. So, you always feel apprehensive. So, think. So, you should have taken a pause. I am not talking of, voter getting confused due to various things. No, a general citizen of Delhi, what all he is concerned about. Cleanliness. Everywhere you find posters. So think about these issues. Then China's loss can be India's gain. So India will have to work on various policy formulations. How to make this business lucrative so that we can export to US. So we'll have to start working on it. So areas where we can capture this business and what reforms are needed in our environment. So these are two things. So that's it. Rest all. I liked your communication, your reply on Miranda and girls and boys.
So, Simran, as already mentioned, that you have very good personality and a little bit more cheerfulness will add to it. And communication skills are also good. It can be better if you think about the question, as Chairman sir already mentioned, and then you reply to the question. Otherwise, you are doing great. Only the knowledge areas or the knowledge gaps related to your interests, especially when you say that you want to go for IFS.
Yes.
And latest country that
Yes, sir.
became part is which one?
Sir, I would-
Indonesia, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 2025. Now there are certain current affair gaps also. So focus on them, right? Otherwise, you will do good, right? All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions, Simran?
No, sir.
So we have given you 61% today. So I appreciate that every time that you are giving a new mock, you are getting more confidence and it will continue. You have time, make the best use of it. Study little more, give a mock. Again, study for 3-4 days, give a mock. This is how it should be.
Okay, sir.
All the best.
Thank you.